guys, welcome to another review video. We are doing technology today, TV, 4K TVs in specific. I recently bought into the hype and got myself a new Xbox Series X, excuse me. And I need a 4K TV because my old RCA is just not doing it. So, after spending $700, I only had a limited budget. So I'm like, okay, how do I get a 4K TV? Black Friday happens in Canada. Walmart was having an amazing sale, $348 for the 58-inch RCA 4K television right here. And then Superstore, Canadian Superstore, aka Loblaws, had their own deal with no tax, $300 for a Bolva that I've never heard of, 4K TV, ultimate H definition TV. So we're going to be doing a side-by-side comparison. The ultimate test is going to be like, how good does my video games work on it? So just a little bit about both of these TVs. So they're both the same inches, 58, which is amazing, especially for 300 Canadian. Obviously this one was 348 plus tax, so HST is 13%, so this came up to about just under 400. Right off the bat, they're both smart TVs, which means that, they have internet capabilities, wireless internet capabilities. This is the remote for the Bolva, which is actually pretty cool. I'm a fan of the bigger remotes. You don't see these often anymore. And this one has, we have the Netflix, the YouTube, and Prime, which are literally the three main ones that we use anyways. Obviously, it comes with some no-name batteries, but what do you expect for an off-brand television? So we'll slide that over there. For this Roku RCA, RCA is a brand that has it's always been like the lower-end brands in Canada, but lower-end doesn't mean that there isn't value to it. It just means that, you're going to be paying for a cheaper price, and you might not get all the knickknacks, but you'll get what you need out of it. Does it look good? Can I watch movies in it? Will I be impressed with the picture? And the added bonus is it comes with Roku. Obviously, this is the Roku remote. It doesn't have the voice capabilities. So for that, I actually hooked up my Amazon Fire Stick. But, this one has Netflix on it, Global, which is a Canadian news brand, and the Disney Plus channel, which I do have a subscription for. So this is the remote for this 58-inch television. So we're going to be doing a side-by-side. We'll see you guys in the next scene. Let's see which is the fastest of the two. Remember, this is the Roku, and this is the Bolva. 1, 2, 3. All right, that one's a little bit less responsive. Boom. This one's right away. So I say, what's the number one thing you go to? Let's go to YouTube. We're on YouTube, so let's go on YouTube. So I'm going to press the YouTube button on this one, and I have to go into it because it would be super cool if they let you reprogram these, but I guess companies pay some big money to get on the remote. So let's go into YouTube here, and I'll press YouTube here.
Go.
All right, so let's go into YouTube. Let's see it. I got to click it here, and I'm going to press the button right here. So let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3. So right off the bat, this one looks the whites look a little bit more pop. And this is the home screen for the YouTube on this one. What do you guys think? No difference yet. All right, so let's try some 4K content. All right, so just to test this out, I said, okay, let's put on a 4K fireplace and let's see what's up. It's really good to test it out on like darker colors and then lighter colors. So we'll try a snow and beach and water type theme. But first we'll start with the darker colors. We're doing our fireplace. This is just 4K content that I found on YouTube. So let's just try the first one. Let's see how that goes.
Wow, what a big difference in there. And I don't know if it's... Oh, I can't believe I'm speaking. Okay, go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys tell me what you think. Remember, this one over here is the Bolva. This one right here is the Roku TV. I don't know if you can tell. To be honest, they kind of look both impressive. There is a clarity to the RCA that I'm seeing. I don't know if you can really tell, but this right here looks very, very pixelated, but the fire looks great. I can't lie. Like, you see up close, the fire looks great. It seems to pick up on the sparks pretty cool. This one, I'm just getting a clearer picture. Another thing regarding the remotes. So this one is the smaller one, but it's heavier. This one is the bigger one, but it's lighter. I also find that this remote is a little less responsive. You have to double click and you have to, it feels like you're working to get the content that you want. So, that's kind of the first test that we have going on. I was waiting to see, like, maybe it might take a little bit to kick in, but, I mean, that's just where we're at. So, the winner for me, I think RCA takes this one on the fireplace test. Leave a comment to tell me what you think. Ready, set, go. Okay, you guys, so the first one was in natural daylight. I've just closed these drapes to so you can get a better picture. Truthfully, like I said, there's still a little bit more clarity on this one. Both the fires look nice, vibrant, and popping. The color just looks a little bit richer on this one. It's not terrible. Like, say if you put it in like a kid's playroom, like kids aren't really particular with it. But, I mean, I tend to pick up on these little things. Right, so again, this one is the Bolva Smart TV 58-inch, and this one is the RCA Roku TV. Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
All right, so the next scene that we're gonna try it on the beachy scenes. Water, you'll notice with any TV, they like to test it out with water because, you know, water and waves are one of those tricky things. Water is something that reflects a lot of light, and there's like a lot of detail, like especially with colors and gradient. So I just Googled, you know, the first 4K beach scene that I found. So we're gonna do a side-by-side comparison. Remember, we're in daylight right now. So let's press play and let them play simultaneously, and then you guys can tell me what you think. I'm going to mute it. What do you guys think? Alright, so right off the bat, this one looks way brighter. The Bolva looks brighter than this one, and these ones look more vivid. You can see the green really pops out, and I'm really digging it. This one looks more, it looks more darker, but richer, if that makes sense. I don't know, I think this one's a little closer. Let's continue to, like, look at the sand on this one. This one looks like, you know, this looks like it's the Bolva at its best. I don't know how it's doing that. Compared to the fireplace one, you can't, it looks like everything is just smooth. Maybe it just picks up on the lighter colors a little better. You guys remember to leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this. We're doing the Bolva 58-inch versus the RCA Roku TV 58-inch. The best budget TVs for 4K. Remember, you guys, this is entry-level televisions. You're not going to get the best of the best. We're looking for something just basic. Something to kind of just get your game in. And something to just look good with, you know, Netflix and YouTube. So, keep your expectations where they should be.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, you guys, so now we're doing the dark test. Remember, I closed up those, I turned off the lights, got a darker atmosphere going on because you don't watch movies with the late daylight. And it's just so you can see another comparison when it's dark outside. One thing about this one that I can really agree, and I'm talking about the RCA in particular, is that the colors are darker. Yes, the Bolva is a brighter screen. But with this one, the colors just seem more realistic. This looks like if you're looking at it with your own eyes. I remember going to the tropics, and this is exactly how I pictured it. Those are the actual color of the greens. This one, the Bolva, although it looks, you know, great, there is something very wallpaper-like, which means that the colors are there, but they look so almost artificial. Not to say that it doesn't look great, but it looks almost artificial. I think that is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But again, this one is just the more realistic. So, for the second test, for me personally, I would definitely go with the RCA. I think this one wins it. Another thing that I want to test, and I don't know if you guys are going to hear this, the audio is probably going to come out terrible. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to test out the audio, and then I'm going to let you guys know exactly how I feel about it, okay? Pause.
Go.
Alright, you guys, so what I just did when I was off camera is that I was testing the sound. I kept them both at 27, and sound is one of the things that when you're spending money on a cheaper entry-level set, they usually skimp on sound. I mean, some people say that you can substitute it because other people have, you know, surround sounds or sound bars and all of that, but personally, I don't want to have to go spend $300 on a TV set and then have to go spend another $100, $150 on a sound bar. So I would rather just see what I get with the television. Off the bat, at 27, I'm sorry, the clear winner goes to the RCA. Although the sound is loud on the Bolva, there you can definitely tell that there's some distortion. There's a loudness to it that's almost like a ringing. But with the RCA, it's more clear. You get what I'm saying? Is it perfect? No. I'm actually like, I'm a low-key audiophile. I love like headphones and stuff, so sound is very particular to me. Just off of the, you know, the natural waves crashing and stuff, it goes to this one. This one sounds way more realistic. There's some distortion. The next thing that I'm gonna test, I'm gonna blast them. I'm gonna put them on not super high, but you know, as high as my neighbors will tolerate, and just hear. That's how you're gonna really know exactly what is what. So give me a second. Let me pause this out. Turn this up. Next, volume. Obviously, I'm closer to it, and you can tell I'm yelling over it. But I mean, it's not terrible.
At 100.
Not terrible. All right, let's turn that down. Whew. So the Bolva at 100 max is definitely louder,
and
definitely. But in this case, louder is not better. If it's a loud TV and the sound is distorted, that's just not a pleasurable viewing experience. So again, when it comes to sound, I'm sorry, but the RCA is gonna take it, and like by a long shot. Like this is just hurting my ears. I'm gonna need to take a break just to kind of get over it for a second. All right. Probably need it. Where's the snow? All right, you guys, so we're doing the snow test. Like I like to test snow on any television or any screen because snow obviously is white. And it's very detailed. So it's a really good indicator on how well the screen is made and how bright the screens are. Obviously, you want to always test things, well, we normally test things in extremes. So we want to try dark colors, and then obviously the opposite end of that are the light colors. So as you can tell, they're actually pretty, I mean, there's differences, but it's not huge. This is actually picking up, this is the Bolva that we're talking about, which is picking up the white of the snow actually pretty good. The only thing is, when it comes down to these flecks, I don't know if you guys can see that on the screen, but it's actually a little bit blurry. Like, I don't know if it's the motion that's blurry, or if it's just the screen or the pixelation accent. I don't really know. But you can definitely tell a little bit blurry. But as you move back, I mean, actually it kind of does become a little bit more noticeable, but it's not terrible. Like, you know what? My grandmother wouldn't mind that. Me playing video games, I definitely will. So we come over to the RCA, where the color is, or the screen itself is a little bit darker. That might just come down to calibration. But when I can see that, I don't see much blurring on this, right? You can kind of get into here, and you get closer, and you get further away, and you can still see the details that you need to see without any blurring. So, I mean, for this one, for me, I like the brightness of the Bolva, but I like the realistic portrayal on the RCA. So for the snow test, I'm sorry, but the RCA is going to take it for me. You guys, please let me see your comments. Let me see what you think, because I might just be tripping. I mean, I don't think I am, but it'd be nice to hear your opinion as well, all right? So now it's time for the Netflix test. So again, I'm testing for screen responsiveness. I'm going to point it in the corners that the screen or the remote's supposed to point, and we're going to see which one is quicker. So 1, 2, 3, and they both have dedicated Netflix buttons, which is actually just really good marketing. So 1, 2, 3, go. Who's first? Oh! See how that works. Oh, and I'm not even signed in on Netflix on this one. So, I mean, we're gonna test it out on the Bolva. Let's see how it looks. All right. Now this is copyrighted material, so I can't really test that out. So, just, at least you can kind of see a little bit. All right, you guys, so we're doing the RCA. One thing I have an Amazon Fire Stick, right? Which I actually love. So I actually have Amazon and everything already set up on my Fire Stick, which is kind of making me not want to do it on this Roku TV again. So the best thing about this Roku remote is that you can kind of program it. You can program your Roku stick. on it. And the Roku actually controls it as well. It just doesn't do this, like, but watch. So right now I'm in Netflix. I'm going to go into my Fire Stick, which I programmed. You can see here, I programmed these. So this is in my HDMI 2. I have my Fire Stick plugged in. I named it Fire Stick, you know, just so I don't forget. And I'm gonna go into that. From that point here, I can control it with my Fire Stick remote, and I can go into my Netflix. So let's pop that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That might just be due to my internet connection. Who knows? Shout out to Rogers. But let's just see this pop up, and then we're going to test it out on a movie. Obviously, I can't show much of Netflix content because I'm not trying to get flagged for copyright. But it's just a good, you know, a good trial. All right. I put in Aquaman just to see it. I think it's a cool scene. I like this part. Right off the bat, you can definitely tell that the Bolva is a little bit brighter. It's been brighter this entire, you know, review. And that's not, like I said, I like the brightness of it. It's just, you know, when it's bright and it kind of gets washed out and then it's blurry, you can kind of see a difference that I don't like because it's going to affect your viewing experience. In particular, this one, obviously, when you pause it, it's a little bit dimmed out. It does not look at it like this when you play it on the RCA. One thing I need to mention is back to sound. At 32, right, even as you turn it up, you have to get into the 50s or 60s. The voices speaking any dialogue is extremely distorted on the Bolva. With the RCA, everything is clear. You can hear everything. You can see everything. There's just no contest. Like, the sound on this thing is just, I'll be blunt, pure garbage. You're going to have to get another sound system if you intend to keep this set. You cannot use it out the box. It is not out the box ready. With the RCA, it is. Like I said, easy setup. You know, the Roku is a pretty cool feature. I really like it. It's really bonus. It's really easy to use. The user interface is very easy to access. It's a pretty fast and responsive screen. Obviously, the remote is a little bit small, but, you know, who cares? But back to this, if you guys want to do a little side-by-side, let's see something. Oh, no, it's just darker. Wow. So pause that. Yeah, okay.
Now.
All right, so now, like I said, it's the ultimate Xbox test. Let's play some Xbox on and let's see how life looks on our new RCA 58-inch TV. So again, I'm using the Roku remote to access this. I'm going to go into Xbox, which I set up earlier, which was super simple and easy to do. It asked you all this at the beginning, and my Xbox is not connected. So let me just double check that. Hold up. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Hold up. Alright, so this is the Xbox test. Alright, so I currently have 2 games. I'm going to test it out on Mafia. It's a demo, and then Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm going to start with Assassin's Creed just because I feel like it's more graphics heavy. Quick resume. Alright, so here we are. Here's Cassandra. And here we are on the beach. So tell me what you guys think. I like to dive. So this is the underwater. So again, this is on the RCA 4K TV. If you can see off into the... These are the graphics. What do you think? Right? Alright, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pause it, right? I'm gonna go here. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to get in. If you go into settings, your Xbox will tell you exactly how compatible it is with the television that you're using. So if I go into TV and display options, right, I'm at 4K HUD. I'm going to go into 4K TV details and setups. I'm going to go into it. So you notice how it's only one check mark? So this TV is 4K at 60 hertz. So that's bare basics. If you can see all the ones that I'm missing, I'm not getting any of those other features. Like I said, it's good enough for basics. Still looks pretty cool. Still looks pretty sharp. Sound is pretty good. All right. So let's test it out on my Bolva. Right? If I go like this, here's the map. Right? Here is my inventory where you can see a close-up of her face. Right? Look at that detail. Right? If we could take off her hood. Don't be rude. Right? You can kind of see the detail on her hair. All right, so let's pause that. Obviously, I'm at the beginning of the game. I just started. I'm at level 6. Leave me alone. All right, so let's test it out. So this is how it looks on the RCA Roku TV. All right. Okay, you guys, so now I switched over to the Bolva 58-inch. I'm testing with the Xbox Series X test. And, I mean, you can see how things kind of, I mean, it's still a beautiful picture. I'm actually quite impressed with how this looks right now. Let's go into the maps. Let's see if we see any differences. Oh, not really. Right? Still looking good, still looking fly. Right? All right, let's do the ultimate test. Let's test gameplay now. All right, so we're back on the same beach. What do you guys think? Let's try the eagle view. So here we are with the eagle view. I mean, trees still look beautiful. The graphics are still actually pretty decent. Right? I'm actually quite impressed with this. Look at this go. All right, let's try the underwater test. Let's go for a swim, Cassandra. Swim, girl, swim. Underwater. How does that look for you guys? All right, now you can see a little bit of distortion. Just a teensy tiny bit, but like the colors are still rich. Everything's still vibrant. Right? Still pretty cool. All right, let's surface. All right, let's go into our settings and let's see what our TV settings are saying for my Xbox. Again, I'm going into my general account. I'm going into TV displays. I'm going into 4K details. Boom, look at this. Look at this. Okay, so the Bolva is actually winning this contest. If you guys don't remember when I was testing this out on the RCA, I only had one check mark right at the top with this Bolva. Look how many check marks I'm having, right? That's pretty impressive. Look at that. 4K, HDR10, 4K 10-bit at 50 hertz. I mean, for an entry-level television, especially just to game on, this is definitely something I would give my little cousins. Right? I think it actually beats out the RCA. Look at that. Which is crazy. Look at that. This looks beautiful, right? Look at her. Look at her. Again, let's try.
Yeah. Honestly, this is pretty.
Look at that.
This is pretty.
All right, let's try one more game. This is the ultimate test. Mafia is a darker game, and it's an older game, so the graphics are worse. So let's see how this Bolva 58 television picks it up. We're gonna use this offline. Look at that go. See, you can see a little bit of color distortion, especially with the darker colors. But it's not terrible. Not terrible, not terrible. Haha, this isn't an Xbox One. Find me on Twitch. You can pause it.
Yeah.
Ooh. You get that? All right. All right, so one thing I should talk about is when you're buying a television, you never want to spend $400 on anything and kind of had nowhere to go. You need some sort of recourse. So when it comes to electronics, I always suggest that you purchase it with a credit card, just because your credit card is not most likely going to either double or add an additional year of warranty of protection through your credit card company. Each of these sets come with a 1-year warranty. So this one is coming from the Superstore. Wallace, I think, has a 14-day return, and then I think it's 30 days and you get credit. Obviously, coming from Walmart, Walmart is a monster. You can go anywhere and catch a Walmart, and Walmart closes at 11, which is extremely convenient, especially when you need to make any returns or any late night snack runs. But with Walmart, to compete with Costco, they offer you 90 days. You guys, that's 3 months I can mess around with this. And if it breaks, guess where it's going back? It goes right back to Walmart. On top of that, I have another additional year through my Visa card for the purchase, which is another reason that the RCA is a clear winner for me. So for $400 for a set for me to game on an Xbox Series X, I think this is my clear winner. Again, this is just a cheap entry-level television. This is not a mid-tier. This is not a high tier. This is just a basic review. All right? Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, you guys, so I'm playing Xbox Series X Mafia 3 demo on the RCA Roku TV. And although I am losing a bunch of settings, I don't know, but you tell me what you think. I have an opinion. I have an opinion that it looks better. I have an opinion that it sounds better. I have an opinion that the graphics are better on the RCA compared to the Bolva. But I might just have a bias. What do you think? You tell me out. And you see the dying part? Does it not look better? Alright, so these are the loading screens. If you compare to that one, it was really, really blurry. But on this, the RCA, it looks better. I don't know what's going on, guys. Am I tripping? Leave a comment below and let me know.
Responding unit investigating. Respond with caution. There's been a homicide in the Spring Ward. Suspect is described as a Negro male. Response requested.
I'm dead. Alright, did you get enough footage? No, you don't.
I don't know, Sha. I don't know if it's because of the angle I'm sitting. I don't know if it's because of the light. I don't really see a huge difference between this and that.
Okay, so these are the home screens for each television. On the left, we have the 58-inch RCA Roku TV, which is obviously using the Roku interface, which is, you know, a lot of people are familiar with it. I think it's easy. I think it's lovely. That's amazing. On the Bolva, it's just like a standard. I guess they're using their own interface, but they do have all the basics. They have your Netflix, your YouTube, your Prime Video, and Facebook and Twitter, which is actually pretty interesting. I think it's a nice touch. And this is just at the home screen, everything is kind of right on screen where you need it. With this one, you kind of gotta go into different menus to find out what you need. But I mean, if you're familiar with Roku, you know how to do it. On this home screen, it tells you everything you need to know. You're connected to the internet, it tells you your time. And like, there you go. It tells you exactly what's, you know, what you've been doing. I suggest you guys check out Spider-Man. It's pretty cool. Alright, you guys, so this is my final thoughts on the ultimate entry-level television for 4K. I was looking for a set, an entry-level set under $400 that I can, you know, play my Xbox Series X and get, you know, some pretty decent graphics. I really had to upgrade from my last set. And at the Superstore, this was for $300, no tax, which is an amazing deal. Supreme gaming experience except for the sound. My biggest thing with the Bolva is the sound. The sound kills a lot of it for me. On top of it, although the remote is big and it's light, it is very, very laggy. I do like the interface. I love, you know, the simple buttons on it because that's everything that you need in a smart television. You got your YouTube, you got your Netflix, you got your Prime. It plays games beautifully. They sound horrendous, but for visually, if I plug in a headset, especially just through my Xbox controller, I can get over the sound. If you're waving this to your kids or to your grandparents specifically to game on, $300 at no tax is a steal. Hands down, it's a steal. If you are trying to do anything other than game on this set, I honestly would suggest that you pass. Spend the extra $100 for some decent sound for the Roku experience on the 58-inch Roku for $348 plus HST, just under $400 from Walmart. One thing I do have a bone to pick, not only with this little Mickey Mouse control, which I think is adorable in some ways, and I think is horrendous in other ways because it's not backlit and it has no voice capabilities. But I do have my Amazon stick hooked up to this, which kind of takes care of that. But it is extremely difficult to not only plug in stuff into the HDMI components, it's just very tedious and it looks like they're not necessarily straight outlined. But the Roku TV for this showdown, I think hands down for the extra $100, I am happy with keeping the Roku TV. So I think that's the winner, okay, you guys? Not only does it display pretty brilliantly, the sound is exactly what I'm expecting. Do I get all the bells and whistles? Absolutely not. Do I wish that I had extra stuff? Am I absolutely happy with the value that I'm getting for $400? Yes. If you have the budget, I would suggest that you get an LG CX. Everybody's talking about it. You can go ahead and check that out. Or the Sony X900 or 950 if that's in your budget. But I'm not trying to spend $1,500 plus HST. I'm trying to spend $400 and just game on my next gen. So when it comes down to the ultimate Xbox test, I'm sorry, and this one is sleeping. That's okay. When it comes to my Xbox test, I'm going to go with the Roku. The Roku's the winner for me. So you guys, please let me know what you think. You guys can leave your comments below. You can email me at chillwithsha, chillwithsha@gmail.com. If you have any comments, any reviews that you want me to, pick up. Is there something that I missed? Is there something that you wanted to check out? Is there something that I should probably check out if I'm looking for a 4K gaming monitor for under $400 Canadian? Let me know. You guys, I hope, if you enjoyed this review and you think I did a good job, please like and subscribe to this channel, all right? You guys, life is about the things that you make it. Have fun with life. Be nice, be kind, not only to others, but to yourself. And I'm signing off. Peace.